Nashville, Tennessee, Sam Ash Music proudly presents Live with Geneva. And here she is, your host, Geneva.
That was incredible, man.
Well, I appreciate that.
You've been on tour with Steppenwolf for how long?
16 years.
Yeah, and before that, you were with a band called Alcatraz?
Yeah, that was kind of in the 80s. I replaced Steve Vai. Yngwie Malmsteen had been through that band too.
Wow.
I did the third record for Capitol, and wrote a lot of the songs with Graham Bonnet. And it turned out that they did my song, Dangerous Games, which I had written the lyrics and the music for in New York City, and turned out to be the title track of the record.
Wow, that's saying something, man. So how many times do you think that you have played the song Born to Be Wild?
How many times?
Yeah.
I mean, when I first joined the band, that's funny that you asked that question. I said to John Kay, you know, I kind of got him aside when nobody was around and said, look, I know these guys have been with you forever. You know, the keyboard player's been with him for 35 years. And if you don't want to do Born to Be Wild at rehearsal, you know, it's not like I don't know the song.
Right. Well, see, the thing about it is we play predominantly motorcycle events and stuff, and we cannot go to a bike rally or event without hearing that song covered by one of the bands. You know.
Well, I would think that you would play it.
Yeah. Well, we do normally if we have like a special guest singer, we'll do that. But we kind of try to like push our own biker music.
I understand that.
And we pay homage to Steppenwolf when we do Born to Be Wild, and usually we get like a guest singer to do that. And hopefully that you know, sometime when we're on the road, I'd like to bring you out. To
Yeah,
play with us.
I would like to do that. As a matter of fact, I remember when you opened up for us, and it was great. You guys just radiated on the stage, and I was just like, wow. I want to know these people. And then I found out you were from Nashville, and here we are tonight. So.
I know, this is cool, isn't it? Hey, Danny, tell me a little bit. There's a connection between you and Alice Cooper. Can you shed a little bit on that?
Well, let's see, that would have been in the 80s. I was working for a producer by the name of Richie Podler, who had done all the 60s music. Richie had produced Three Dog Night, Steppenwolf. It turned out that Richie Podler was one of the people that helped me suggested to Steppenwolf, you should use Danny Johnson. He's from Louisiana, but he's got that kind of bluesy, psychedelic, narcotic sound. And they liked that, and except for the narcotic, they sent me off to rehab. But I made it out. But anyhow, Richie had done everybody. And so I did a bunch of records with Richie. The first one I did was Phil Seymour, God rest his soul, had passed away. He was a great pop singer. And then I did Carmine Appice's drum solo record. And then Richie had produced a record for me. And then all of a sudden, he scored Alice Cooper.
So the Alice Cooper thing worked out.
The Alice Cooper thing worked out really good. And it was a record called Special Forces. And Alice was really just one of the nicest people I've, you know, out of the whole rock star thing, you know, and in my time, I'm kind of blessed, you know, from getting that gig with Rick Derringer at 19. I mean, I asked him and his wife, do you know any normal people? I mean, I lived at their house for like a month, and I would be the guy downstairs to answer the door.
Right.
And it was in 1975, and you know, I would answer the door, it'd be Mick Jagger or Todd Rundgren or Johnny Winter or Edgar Winter. It's like, do you know any normal people? And they go, what is that? You know,
what is normal?
We have no use for those people. You know.
That's funny. So you have don't you have a book coming out?
Well, I've got the title. That's as far as I've got. But I did make it into the Aerosmith book, Walk This Way, I think it's called. When Joe Perry and them parted ways, they called me to come audition for them. And I thought things were going good. And then, it's kind of a funny story, I'll make it quick. Steven said to Brad, I don't like Danny because his hair is too short. And he looks so straight.
You didn't get the gig?
I didn't get the gig because my hair was too short.
Wow.
And my friends asked me, how do you feel about that? And I said, well, I feel like that year, I felt like I got a $3 million haircut.
Oh, wow. Well, we are so glad to have you here with us, Danny.
Great to be here.
And I thank you so much for sharing your music with us and for touring with Steppenwolf and keeping it out there on the road, man. Long live the 70s and 80s rock and roll, guys. Y'all put your hands together for Danny Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Great to be here.
Really appreciate it, brother.
Check out my new record, Love, Sweat, and Blood.
Life, Sweat, and Blood.
And it's at DannyJohnsonDJ.com.
DannyJohnsonDJ.com. I'm going to go Google that right now.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Danny.
We want to thank all our talented guests tonight. Mike Estes with Skinny Molly. Our Sam Ash representative, Clay Rigdon. Our special guest performer, Jasmine Kane. Drummer for the Oak Ridge Boys and solo artist, Chris Golden. Danny Johnson of Steppenwolf. The lead singer of Swamp DeWomp, Big Michael. And of course, the Geneva Band. Thanks for joining us here at Sam Ash Music Presents Live with Geneva.
Music isn't what I do, it's what I am.